In this video, I wanted to show you a creative way to use moving averages and also how I trade these moving averages in conjunction with my favorite trend indicator. So you see I've got these bands that are red, they turn green, they turn red, they turn green. This is Friday's price action. This is the New York Open right here at 9:30. I'm usually trading to 10:30, sometimes up to 11. I'm using the moving average crossover indicator from NINZA to create these bands, and I'm using the solar wind indicator from NINZA to paint these candles and to detect the short-term trend. This is an NQ 1-minute chart. You can see the first candle, 9:31. These moving averages are very close together. It's a very tight range, but they're all green. So if all the bands are green, we're looking for longs. We're also sitting above yesterday's close. See, we start to get some red solar wind candles, but we're not interested in taking any of those as our moving average crossover bands are green. You can see these wicks start to form. You get 3 wicks right in a row, right off of this yesterday's close level. And also, this is the 200 SMA, this blue line. I've got the 200, the 100, the 50, and the 20, all simple moving averages. So at this point, when we have the red candles, we're either looking for a close below the 200 and a potential move further south, or we're waiting for the solar wind to change back to green. Here the solar wind turns back to green. We're above the 20, we're above all the moving averages. We can enter a long at the close of this candle, put our stop right below the entry candle right there. We have a nice 25-point move up. Here the solar wind turns red. Still not interested in this trade while our moving average bands are green. Now once we get a close inside these bands, I might be looking for a pullback to one of these 3 bands. And price did come down back to the 200 SMA before bouncing up. It also held up right at the 50. The bands are starting to get a little wider, but they're still pretty narrow at this point. Here we get the solar wind turning green again, and it's a very nice, large, full-bodied candle. We could get in long there, put our stop below the entry candle. This went up 40 pips in a little over 5 minutes, and the solar wind stayed in a green trend, up another 50 points. Here we get some red solar wind candles, but price is above all of the moving average bands. The moving average bands are all green. We're not interested in these shorts. Solar wind again turns green. This is one that I might not be interested in unless there's a bunch of delta or another reason to take this trade. I like the first move. I often like the second move, but the third move in the same direction, I start to get a little hesitant unless I have some other factors that are giving me confidence that we are still going to move in the same direction. Here our solar wind turns red. We're still above all of these moving averages. The bands have widened out quite a bit now. So when we get our first close within the bands, we get a close below the 20. This is where I'd be looking for a potential pullback to the next band. And then if we broke this band, the 50 SMA, I'd be looking for a potential retest to this band. And so on. If we broke the 100 SMA and had a close below the 100, I'd be looking for a potential retest to the 200 SMA. Here we had a nice retracement back to the 50, bounced off the 50. The 20 SMA was holding. When we did get a close above, it was kind of a tiny candle. I probably would not have entered on that. This candle, nice big full-bodied candle, green solar wind, all the bands are green. I'd be looking for a possible move up to the pivot point, which is this magenta line. You can see we made it right up to the pivot, had a little hesitation, broke above the pivot. Now we've got a close above the pivot and price continued up for the next 20 minutes. So that's a brief little overview of how I'm trading this. Just a very simple trend following system with the solar wind and 4 of my favorite moving averages. The 20 SMA, the 50 SMA, the 100 SMA, and the 200 SMA. I can show you my settings for the moving average crossover. So we've got the 20 SMA for the fast period, and for the slow moving average, we've got an SMA of 200. So I've got 3 different instances of the moving average crossover to create these bands. I've got my cloud set to lime green and red. That's what's painting the colors in between the bands. I've got my opacity on all of them set to 20. So for the next moving average crossover instance, here's an SMA of 50, slow of 200, and the third and final instance, SMA of 100, slow of 200. And for the solar wind settings, I've got my special micro trend settings. I've got a whole separate video on that. Basically, the only thing that I've changed is the offset multiplier trend to 0.5 and the offset multiplier stop to a number 1. And then I only have the bar enabled and the bar outline. I'm not using any of the other solar wind features. And this quick drawing tool, this is a free indicator from NINZA. It lets you select any of your favorite drawing tools. I've got the ray and the horizontal line, and that puts this little box on your chart. So if you want to make a ray, you just click on this button. Now you can draw your rays. If you want to make a horizontal line, just click on the button. You can make a horizontal line. This quick drawing tool definitely comes in handy, and it's a free indicator that you can get from NINZA. And there's links to all these indicators in the description. If you use code MonkeyMan at NINZA, you get the absolute best price possible. Even if they're having a crazy 50% off sale, if you use code MonkeyMan, you will get an even deeper discount. It also works on their sister site, Renko Kings. I'm using these setups to trade on my Apex trader funding accounts. If you use the code MonkeyMan over at Apex, you also get the best price possible. Right now they've got an 80% off sale extended till the end of July, and their 3 largest accounts are only $40. Anytime you use any of my affiliate links, not only are you getting the best price, but you're helping to support the work that I do on this channel, and I really, really appreciate it. I had a nice Friday today on my Apex accounts. I've got 5 accounts with them. I only traded 4 accounts. I was using the copy trader, took 4 trades on 4 accounts, so a total of 16 trades, 100% profitable. Took all short trades today. Up 1,300 bucks, pretty good. Had a good day yesterday too, pretty much 100%. I had one that was around break even, about 50-50 on the long and the shorts, 95% profitable. I'm trading very simple setups like this across 3 different time frames, the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and the 15 minute. And I'm also incorporating order flow. Hope you got some good ideas for your own trading. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.